What is up, guys? Look, welcome back to the channel. This week we're back in the shop because it's so daggum hot we can't go fishing. And I mean, you could go fishing, but at this point, look, this is our busy time of year. This is where we start to transition from fishing to duck hunting. So, you know, if you're on this channel but you don't know nothing about our ducks, check out the Duck Commander channel. Because it's transition time, but this is also time you can catch a lot of fish, especially if you have a river in your area. Main river stuff is really good this time of year, especially if you can get a rain like in the evening or something, get you a little current flowing in your river. It's a really good time to go catch, not necessarily numbers of fish, but you can catch some really good fish that live on main rivers. Around here, the Washita River gets really good this time of year because like it's down to pool, but you'll get a little rain, put a little current, and the fish are like super, what's the word I'm looking for? Predictable. Like if there's a piece of hard cover in the water, it's a great time. You can almost call your shot. So look, if you are in the hot summertime, don't give up on the fishing yet, unless you're like us and you got to switch to ducks and they get all your attention. So this week though, we're gonna talk about one of my favorite summertime baits for this kind of fishing, and it's a jig. But I'm gonna go through the differences in our two jigs that we currently offer on the Flippin Commander website. In fact, one of them's not even up yet. It will be up by the time this video airs. So the first one is our Flippin Jig. So this one is up on the website. I just grabbed the peas and carrots model. It's a green pumpkin with a little orange. Really a solid springtime bait if you're flipping. Here in the summer, it'll work too, but I prefer to go with something a little bit darker during the summer. But as you'll see, look, on that deal, we give you plenty of weed guard for you to trim down to whatever size you want to. I trim them quite a bit, but it just all depends on how comfortable you are with potentially getting hung up. So if you don't want to get hung up at all, leave it long like this, but just know that when you crack him, you better crack him, like as hard as you can. But anyway, with a Flippin Jig, you'll see that the line tie is a lot of times on the very tip top of the head. So look at that guy right there. That is, so when you flip, he kind of stands up like this. So what does this do? Well, that keeps him from getting hung up a lot. So when you're flipping, like when I'm thinking about flipping, especially in Louisiana, I'm flipping wood a lot of times. Lay down, stumps, whatever is on the bank in the water that comes out to 4, 5, 6 foot deep. And this guy will keep you from getting hung up. He'll kind of bounce along the bottom on his head. When you pick up, it comes straight up, straight back down, straight up, straight back down. So what does that do? That lets you flip into some really thick stuff and not get hung up. You can flip him in grass if you want to. For grass though, I prefer a Texas rig plastic. Just seems to go through a lot easier. You don't get near as much junk on your hook. Your hook's completely, you know, covered. So that's just kind of what I prefer to do. But we're talking about summertime fishing and really main river fishing. A jig is always going to be a player. Now, depending on where you're at and what you're after, like if you're on our river, a lot of times I'm after spotted bass when I'm doing this. So what I'll do is actually use a smaller jig. I'll downsize and use something a little more finessey, but that's because spotted bass has a lot smaller mouth than a largemouth, but those largemouths will be there too. So it really just depends on your body of water and what you're after, that kind of deal. So be sure, check this out. This is our Flippin Jig. Catches a lot of fish. I catch a ton of fish on it every year. The other style jig we have is a football jig. So this can come into play too, not so much in Louisiana, but when you go places that actually have rocks and not mud like we do. This guy right here, main river, same deal. You can find those little rock piles off the bank. This is a football head, so he's kind of an oblong head. What does that do? Let's look at the difference in them. So, flipping head, football head. You can see the difference in those two right there. So this guy is really gonna flipping's gonna go straight down, up, where you see the line tie on this guy on the football head is more kind of in the center, so it's made for dragging. It's oblong, so if you have gaps in your rocks, what'll happen is when it goes down, it'll sit like this, where a flipping will go down like this. And a lot of times, like a flipping style head will get caught in those cracks in the rocks. The purpose of a football head is to not get caught in those cracks. So Really good for offshore. You can use it around riprap. You can use it around a lot of things. It does not do the best around wood, which is why we basically have a wood jig, rock jig. That's the main deal between like a flipping and casting style head versus a football head. So consider yourself truthed. There you go. That's what I know about them. You'll see this one comes with a long weed guard on it too. Trim it off to whatever makes you feel comfortable. But most importantly, just go fishing. Give these things a try. Check them out on our website. We'll link it down below. Look, hope you like this style of video. We're gonna be doing more of this as duck season rolls on, kind of an in the shop kind of video, because let's face it, our time is gonna be devoted towards the ducks. So a lot of our fishing stuff from now until next spring will be in the shop. We're still gonna fish this fall, but you'll have more and more of this type of content. Look, let us know ideas, things you want us to talk about, if it's lines, rods, reels, you know, differences in this, that, and the other. Let us know, because like I said in the past, we want to make this channel for you guys. Appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll see y'all next time.